Hey guys, this is day 134 of startup. So I've been planning for my startup and I have come to the conclusion that there are four activities, parallel activities broadly speaking, which should never stop in a startup for it to be always balanced. And these four activities are: number one, product development; number two, sales and customer discovery; number three, fundraising; and number four is planning and review. So let me just give some justification of why I think that. So when I did my first startup, and this is how most first time entrepreneurs do things, I believed that I need to first develop a product. So me and my co-founder both believed that, and this co-founder is the same person that I have co-founded today in this current startup. So we believe that we need to build a product first and then we will go to sell it. So that's what we did in the first few months, 4 to 5 months. We built the product together. I did the back end, he did the front end, and then we started selling together. So that was my first startup. But later on, with that experience, I learned that when we build a product, we were so off at the time of selling from what the customer would have expected and valued that most of what we had built was useless. And then once we started selling, that is when we started understanding in more depth the customer issues and build a better product. So in the second startup, we actually built a quick prototype very quickly and launched it within 15 days and continuously then worked on both the customer development, customer discovery, sales, whatever you can call it, and product building at the same time. And we did this for quite some time. We improved the product, we got some users, and users liked it, product was going good. But when we went to raise funds, that's when we realized that we had many issues, that our domain that we were working on, or also the idea that we were particular idea that we were working on was not fundable because it wasn't that big as the investors would like. And then of course there are other issues, like we were in the music domain and investors did not want to enter the music domain because of the copyright issues. So we again failed there, and then we continued to evolve the startup in different ways to make it more palatable to investors. So this time again we did a mistake but of a different sort. This time, however, if you have been following my channel, you would notice that I started talking to some investors or people in that domain of investment early on to get their feedback when I was at the ideation phase itself. So I have at least some preliminary backing that yes, the investors find this more or less interesting if I am able to create this business. This is, of course, so far about validation from all aspects, getting validation from customer and getting validation from investor. But what I'm also saying is that going forward, I need to continue this talking to customers and talking to investors while building the product throughout the rest of the startup journey that I have ahead of me. So I need to divide equal time to all of these activities, to talking to customers, to building a product, to talking to investors, and to actually take out some time to review what is happening, what are the challenges, plan ahead, and also a lot of paperwork needs to be done which gets missed on, and collect everything in one place. So all of these organization activities also need to be done. Okay, so I was telling why we need to do these four activities in parallel. So if I just do product development, it seems to go fine. I can get into that hacker mode. It's like introverted mode where you just completely immerse yourself into reading books, into problem solving. Everything seems to be fine, but at the back of it, you just have a feeling that what you're building, is this even required? Do people even want it? Yes, you did get that feedback in the past, but is it like you kind of forget that and you want that constant validation. So I think building a product in isolation is not good. You want to show your work from time to time to people and get that constant approval or disapproval to change what you're doing. So yeah, and if you are just doing a lot of sales and you're just talking to customer all the time, then of course you feel like there's no progress because you're just talking, you're not building any product. And if you do just like build a product and just do selling together but don't do any fundraising, then it feels like you are doing trying to do something very hard, that you're trying to do everything yourself, because within these sales and product development there's so much smaller tasks to do which is best to be done with a team. So getting this funds, by getting funds into your startup right amount at the right time, you can actually delegate a lot of the things which are simple and just focus more of your time into solving the most important problems and really putting your will on those critical issues. So yeah, you cannot also ignore fundraising. And finally, of course, if you just constantly keep doing and doing and doing, never take time to think, then I think you will not also progress, because a big part of startup is about thinking what you're doing right, thinking about what you're doing wrong, continue more on what you're doing right, doubling down on it, and cutting down things and solve problems about whatever is going wrong. So yeah, I think what I'm trying to say is like, if you do not allocate time for all of these activities, then one of them will surely get missed, because all of these activities require different kind of personality, and you need to really compartmentalize yourself into those 4 different activities. So yeah, keep time for it. That's what I'm gonna do, keep time for these 4 subsections, and let's see how it goes.